Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. And I hope all of you are getting out in nature and enjoying some air. And depending on where you live, I'm not sure of the temperature in New York where I used to live, so I'm no longer in New York. I am amazed how the temperature is this morning. As far as where I am, I was like, wow, it's like almost 70 already. And well, earlier this morning, but now it's near noontime right now where I am. Whoops, sorry. So here I am, is at a different hiking trail. I'm sorry, I can't seem to get the light right here. So anyway, I just want to reach out to all of you and see how you are all doing. And if you are getting out, depending on where you are, but you should do this anyway, is to make sure you bring water. Starlight's got 3 bottles of water with me today. So make sure you have plenty of water, and you don't want to get dehydrated or anything like that. So anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, you can find me, and that is at YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is at Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you can like this video, you can like this video, you can subscribe. Also, don't forget you can leave a message down below, beep beep beep, and you can also share my videos with anyone. Plus, you can also push the notification bell, that way you do not miss any videos. So anyway, let's jump right into this new video. Besides, I forgot to mention, is you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So here we go. Already got some people out here. So this is another really important topic. You know, God has been really working on me as far as what to talk about, what to communicate, and really, to be honest with you, I've been doing this YouTube channel for like a year now, and I've really held back a lot. So I've been doing a lot of guided meditations on my throat chakra. That way I can use my voice the way I really desire to use my voice, and I don't want to hold back. I don't want to, I got messages from the universe is not to be afraid of what to say, and I am not afraid. I am not afraid to speak my mind, and the truth. And, like I mentioned, a beautiful person out there on YouTube is, I am a teacher, and also I am a student. So yeah, you're going to see things on my YouTube channel that you might not agree with, and that's okay, because you know what? We all have our own insight and our own, journey that we're living. So anyway, today, I just want to do this real quick here, is to show you these beautiful flowers. So today I want to talk about a very important topic, and that topic is, where are your teenagers? Where are your kids? What are your kids doing? Where are they going? Do you know where your kids are going and where they're spending their time? It's so important to know what your children are doing and to make sure that they're safe, because Starlight has known some things for her whole life of how, oh boy, these are so beautiful. I'm so sorry, but Starlight is like I'm seeing different kind of dragonflies out here. But yeah, it is so important. Beep. It is so vitally important to know where your kids are at all times, And I know some of you probably send your kids to school, and Starlight actually encourages people to homeschool their kids if possible. Sometimes we think we can't make something happen, but I believe if we really put our minds to it and really think about ways of doing that, you'd really save your kids from a lot of heartache, and protect them in a better way by having them at your house, in a sorry about that, in a safe environment. So here we go. I have never been here, so this is a wet area. So with that, is what I've learned is, wherever your kids are, I am not here to scare you. This is just a video really to get you to think and really be wise where you send your kids. And ooh, look at that, a big old shell. That's the biggest one I ever seen for a snail. I can't even imagine a snail in that baby. But with your children is, sometimes parents think, hey, my kids are in a good place. Like some of you might have your kids join sports. Some of you might have your kids go to church. Some of you might send your kids out. These are places that we think and believe are safe. Some people might, send their kids, like at the library by themselves where they can go and, where they can study and, have a place to go to for reading and, a quiet place to go to for their, maybe school assignments or stuff like that. But I am here to tell you that there is no safe place out there to send your kids. Absolutely not. And I know some of you believe that, hey, what you're doing, where they're going is okay. But, really, you got to really, there's people are really clever out there and they're really sneaky and sly the way, like a predator out there in the world. They're really sly, and Starlight learned at a very, 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 very young age, like how things work as far as really, and I had to go through some shit just so then I can have a YouTube channel to help you to protect your children. That is what Starlight is all about, is to protect those little ones, even big ones. I don't care what age they are, but it's so important that we do. My kids are already grown up. They're already adults. Right now they're living their path, their life, but, if you are a new parent, if you are a new parent, or you're maybe raising up kids right now and they're at a certain age, is that really there is no safe place to send your kids, because as a predator, they are really wise and smart and sneaky, and you do have to really be careful where you send them, because there are people that are searching for little kids and teenagers, and they don't care what age they are. Hang on, beep. So you really gotta, isn't this beautiful out here? I love this. See, I love the ground. I don't really like walking on wood to go for a hike, but this is what Starlight loves. So you really gotta be careful where you have your kids going. There's places that, you might bring your kids to go, like for, go out for swimming, and you might have your kids go with certain people, to hang out with them. And, all these kids can get deceived. And so you really got to really be careful. There's sometimes that, parents do, you might be a really good parents and warn your kids about, like strangers and, but a lot of people miss out, and they don't warn their kids about their family members. They don't warn their kids about their relatives. Most people don't do that. Because just like the school system, when I was a kid, they were always telling me to be careful of the strangers. And, it is kind of weird. You do have to protect your kids from strangers because they're out there. But a lot of times it's actually the people that are the ones that are after the kids, and it would be the people that you would least expect. I don't know if I want to really go through this. I got to keep my clothes. I got to see. So, you really got to protect your children. And not too long ago, I have to say, those people are so sly and so sneaky of what they do and how they get to children. And sometimes, you might not know this or be aware of this, but sometimes kids will go out and find kids, or women will go out and be friendly to children. So it's not just the men that we have to be careful about as far as our children go. So, I'm going to have to get a little dirty here. I don't know. Ooh, that is gross. So, that I am speaking from experiences that they will send like even teenagers out, and they might, a teenager might find another teenager out. Ooh, man. Oh, you know what? I gotta go back the other way. My sneakers will get wet. These are my everything right now. My sneakers are my everything. I cannot get my sneakers all soaking wet. It's not like I can stick them in my washer machine. So anyway, they will use other people, to get to your children. So, and they are really sly and really sneaky. Is because they're very patient. These people are patient. They don't rush anything. They want to, just step by step, is to, the way I am with the animals, to, like trying to feed them. Starlight doesn't run right over and try to feed them. No, I have to, let them get to know me and get them to feel comfortable and stuff like that. I got a video that I'm going to put out on Facebook once I get to a library. I had a squirrel that ate right out of my hands. But it's kind of funny. At first, the squirrel kind of bit my finger first. Thought it was a nut because it probably smelled like a nut, and then it ate the nut. But yeah, it just. But I had to be patient with that squirrel. I didn't just right away think, I had to talk to it, and, try to let that little squirrel know that, yeah, you're safe, don't worry, I won't eat you, and the squirrel was like afraid, but, kept on inching over a little bit, so that's how these predators out here, people that are trying to get your kids. And, it was really something driving from New York all the way to Florida, because every rest stop, they had they had papers in the flyers in the bathrooms for the females and probably for the men, like if, about human trafficking and stuff like that. And I was like, oh boy, that is something, that this stuff goes on, and it still goes on. And that's why I have these videos, because these things shouldn't still be going on. We should have already got this all figured out long time ago. But we still keep on repeating the same shit over and over again, and we're getting the same results over and over again, where all this stuff is still happening today. And there's no reason, so I love you so much. And recently I did go to a library. Actually, I say recently, it was a while back. And, I pick up information when I'm out. And there was a teenage girl, and this is why it's so important. Please listen to me. If you can ever do anything right now, please listen to me. Is that it's so important when your kids are going through a hard time. Be that parent that will sit and really, if you're really, really super busy, like, where you cannot really talk to them right at that moment, please make the time to communicate with your kids. Don't close that door. Please do not close that door of communication. That is so vitally important, because what happens is if they can't open up to you because you judge them, or you yell at them, or you criticize them, you make them feel bad, well, what you're causing those kids to do is they're going to hold that stuff in. They want to talk, they want to communicate, and you've got to keep that door open. Please leave the door open. Please, don't say, hey, I'll do it later, and then it never happens, because you don't know what's going on, especially when they're going to public school or even churches or wherever they go. They could be even at your relative's house. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors, so you got to really protect your children, and, with, making sure that you keep that communication open, so they can, when they have a problem, they don't go somewhere else. They trust you. You gotta be an ear to them. You gotta be there for them, because they need you. They really do. A lot of kids, they don't feel loved at their houses. They feel judged. They feel criticized. We got to stop that. That is something that has to stop. I have been so good with my kids. My daughter said something the other day and it made me feel so good. We were talking about if you were going to come back to earth again, like talking about past lives, you know. And I told my daughter how, you know, I said, I love who I am. If I had to come back to this earth again, I want to be who I am the way I look right now. I love myself that much. I would not want to be anybody else. And my daughter is so beautiful and sweet, is that she told me that every time she comes back to earth is that she always picks me to be her mom. Now that, you know, I am so proud, you know, because I really did. I love my kids so much. And was I a perfect mom? No. You know, but, you know, my daughter would love to have me as her mom every time. She doesn't want anybody else to be her mom. And that says a lot. Even my son gave me a beautiful Mother's Day card, a huge one. You know, and what he had written in there, however he got it written in there, you know, it said it all. He, you know, like it was so beautiful, like I'm the greatest mother in the world, you know. So both of my kids see me as being a great mom, you know, and that's what we need. We need parents to step up, you know. We need parents to not get distracted by stuff that don't matter, you know, not get distracted by parties and going out to bars and stuff, you know, or just dropping your kids off anywhere just to get away. I never wanted my kids to leave the house, you know. I wanted them to learn responsibilities, but, you know, I didn't want them to leave. I wanted my son to stay with me until he got married. But, you know, God had a different plan. So, you know, we do really need to be there for our kids. And my story about that happened a while back here is I was at a library, you know, making videos when I was able to, because my computer was working right at that time. Right now my computer's not working. But, you know, I was making videos, and this is what was going on in the library. This is where you think your kids would be safe, right? It's not a safe place, because who goes in the library? You got all kinds of people that go to the library. Homeless people go to the library, all kinds of people. You know, you don't even have to, you can get a guest pass. That's what I do, you know. So a lot of times they don't even know who's coming in those libraries. You know, they don't actually have to sign their name on anything. They can go online and do this and that, you know. And so these people go to the libraries to try to find your children. So this is why it's so important that this video gets made, and that you hear this video, especially if you got kids or grandkids, please, you know, because the libraries, the churches aren't safe. But with the library, I was sitting there, you know, like editing a video in an open space at the library, and behind me was a teenager girl, you know, and by her voice, it sounded like she was going through some stuff. And there was a strange man, you know, that she did not know. And they are crafty. They are sneaky. They will keep on going, you know, they will figure out, you know, they will get information from your kids. And this is what this man was doing. He was trying to get information from her. She's not wise enough yet. She's doesn't understand that you can't just give all this information out to strangers, you know, even though you feel like, hey, there's nothing wrong with this man because there's other people and he's not going to hurt me. But he's setting her up. He is setting her up. You know, this man, you shouldn't even be really talking to this teenage girl, you know, because it's like, why are you talking to this girl? You know, he's getting information from her, you know, and she was going through stuff and explaining stuff that she's going through. And so he's building confidence in her, and he was saying different things to make her feel good, you know. And this is why it's so important that the parents are the ones making their kids feel good, that the parents are there, the ones that when their kids have a problem, when they're going through stuff, that they can go to you. You know, can your kids go to you when they're having a problem? Or do they fear going to you? Do they fear, oh no, what are they going to say? What are they going to judge me about? What are they going to, you know, tell me that, oh, that's a stupid thing? And, What are they gonna, because you gotta really think of what is that child thinking. Does your child even want to talk to you and open up? Or do you yell at your child every time your child comes near you and like, I ain't got time for that? Because I do know what that's like, when I was a kid, I was going through problems and, nobody would listen. They were too busy. You don't want to be too busy. You got to be there for your kids. You got to make time for your kids. Like the way you make time for yourself, you got to make time for your kids. It's so important for them because they're out there. Those people are out there, even in hiking places, anywhere. There's no place safe for the teenagers or kids out there on their own. And, even playgrounds, parks, and all that stuff. Those people are everywhere. And I don't want to scare you, but I do want to make you aware of how they work and what they do. And like that guy at the library, is that he's gonna, keep on talking to her, and, he's gonna like, a lot, of course, the girl's gonna be in school at certain hours, so, it would be obvious for him to figure out, hey, when school gets out, and then he could just talk with her and say, hey, are you gonna be here tomorrow? And, if she feels safe and comfortable with him, she's gonna give him a lot of information. And who knows anything about it? Nobody knows nothing about it. Starlight overheard the whole conversation. I was like, I didn't know even what to do. What can I do in that situation? But to make this video here, this is a beautiful place here. So really protect your children. And I know, that I can go on and on this topic. Believe me, it gets me fired up. It really does. Because I see things and I don't like, I don't like to see the things that I see. And even in churches, you got to watch out. Even, you send your kids out to sports and all that, does anybody even watch what's going on? It could be anybody. It doesn't matter if they work for the school system. It's, I know some sick, twisted people out there that work in a school, I'm like, how in the world, you spend time with these little girls and little boys, and I'm like, how did you get, just because they had a GED, just because they went to a college, it doesn't take much. They went, and got an education at a college, and ended up, they don't have any record, but boy, if people only knew, the kind of people they're hiring. Actually, some of the people do know, they question, hey, why are you, because I do know some people out there, if there was no law about going out with younger girls, they would do it. But here they're working in the school system. So you do have to protect not just the girls, but boys. The boys are a target just as much as the girls. So, just don't think that, hey, I don't have a girl. You know what? They like the boys too. So don't be surprised that, like your boys could be a target just like the females. Females would be more of a target, but boys are these days too. So please protect your children. Beep. I do. I love you so much. And, somebody asked me a question about, why do we go through some stuff when we didn't ask, like you're innocent and you're like, why did this happen to me? Well, look at where I am today because of things happened to me, where now I can use my voice to protect your children, and other people's children, because I had to learn the hard way, and go through some hell in my life to be able to make these videos for you, so, and that's why my kids really love their mom, because I really got into them, in a good way, though. I put my heart and soul in my kids, to keep them away from those things. And that's why you even got to protect your kids from churches, You can't trust even the churches is what I found out. And that's, really horrible when you can't even, a place that you think that you could trust people. So I love you so much. And we really, my kids are already grown up. I always say we, but, is that we really need to pay more attention to our kids and be there when they're going through stuff. And sometimes they're not going to open up to us, is that what we got to do is say, hey, how you doing? Ask them questions. Say, hey, is there anything that you want to talk about? You got to kind of ask them, but don't treat them like shit and then think that they're going to open up. You got to really love and respect your kids, and make sure that you keep that door of communication wide open. They shouldn't have to go to someone else to talk to unless they need a therapist to get support and some help in that area. But please, that is so vitally important, is to be careful how you react to your children, because just like a dog or animals is, dogs sometimes they don't know any better. I've seen many dogs getting beaten, and cats going through some crap. So they come back, they get beaten and come back. So it is something how these things work in life. So the way I always thought of it, though, animals kind of teach us how to be human, because they love us unconditionally. And I do love all of you. I really hope you get a lot of help from this video. And so we are diving deep. I've been diving deep for a few days now, and who knows what else the universe is going to have me talk about next. But this is a part of my YouTube channel, is like really hitting some areas. I do have another topic. I didn't get to do it on this video. This is gonna just a cut really on where I really wanted to go. So anyway, stepping stones right now. This is one part of what I wanted to talk about, and I will get deeper with you on as far as your children goes, because it's so important to protect them. So this is Starlight. I love all of you. I really do. And if you're doing a good job, I am really happy for you. And your kids know if you're doing a good job or not. They really do. They know. They're the kids that will go out and buy a gift for you, and they're not looking for anything in return. They're like, hey, I love you, and you don't have to give me anything, but I love you. So I love you so much. You could give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can also leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you can also share my videos. Plus, don't forget the notification bell. That way, other people, please share these videos. It's so important for all the families and kids. And anyway, you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So anyway, I do love all of you. I really hope you get a lot of help. Protect your children. There is no safe place out there. Sometimes they're not even safe in their own homes. So make sure you know the people, even if you got to put a, like a camera, like a hidden one. There's a lot of those out online that you can get a camera that doesn't look like a camera. Don't tell anybody about it, please. Don't tell anybody about it. Don't tell your mom about it. It's nobody's business. You can just get a camera that don't look like a camera, put it in a place that, like nobody would think, but it would be a great place. Bedrooms, of course, when the kids are older, that's probably not the, place that you want them to have you want your teenagers and stuff to have protection, but you really want to keep your kids safe. So anyway, I do love you so much. This is Starlight. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.